Molly Johnson, hello. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. How are you?
I am well. I am well. Thank you for joining me to talk about the ninth annual Kensington Market Jazz Festival happening in Toronto, in the historic Kensington Market that's in the downtown core of Toronto. Friday, September 27th to Sunday, September 29th. What can audiences expect from the ninth annual Kensington Market Jazz Festival? Molly Johnson, what can audiences expect this year?
Well, Mark Tara, let me just say what you can expect is a fantastic vibe, some excellent music, and let's face it, Kensington Market is the hippest neighborhood in Canada. So you just get that vibe. You just get to be a part of something really fun and good.
Okay, so I would suggest that people go to kensingtonjazz.com because that's where you'll find the venues, who's performing, because it's cash only at the door. So this is the ninth annual festival. This started in 2016. What sparked the idea? What inspired you to want to create this particular jazz festival?
Well, a million years ago, before you were born, Mark Tara, I did a little bit of business called the Kumbaya Festival.
Yes, in the 90s.
We did it for 4 years. We've raised millions of dollars for people in Canada living with HIV/AIDS. So there's a model right there where I looked and thought, geez, Molly, you've been in this business a long time. You know a lot of musicians. Maybe you should gather them together to do something good. So that was Kumbaya. Similarly with Kensington Jazz many years later, sort of thinking, geez, Molly, you've got the eyeball of a lot of people who love live music just through my own work. How can I change and move that spotlight to my community? So spending a lot of time in France doing jazz festivals over there, seeing how they do things, I brought a lot of those ideas to our very own Kensington Jazz. And I just, I'm an underemployed musician, as many of us are. So it's a good way for me to stay busy and kind of out of trouble. But let's face it, Mark Tara, I'm always getting into trouble because that's just how I roll. So I kind of did that. I just wanted to do something interesting and joyous and fun in a world of not so much of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this now
way too long, Mark Tara. What was I thinking?
I don't know, Molly Johnson. I have no idea. What's been the most challenging aspect of putting together something like this? What's been the most challenging part of this for you?
Well, one of the big challenges for so many arts organizations is the grant writing. And I'm terrible at it. And we never had much success until someone introduced me to Tracy Jenkins from Lula Lounge, the great Latin dance club in Toronto, Lula Lounge. And Tracy is very well prepared to help with grant writing. And she literally changed the game for me this year with grant writing. So, because one of the big challenges was, as much as my core staff are essentially volunteers, challenge to raise money to actually pay them for the good work they're doing for the festival. And getting these grants with Tracy's help has really helped us over that hump. So that was a challenge. It's a challenge to get media interested. Though we have a great publicist, Eric Alper, and he sure brought me you, and he brought me some others. But that's a bit challenging to sort of, because we're not the big festival. We're not TIFF. We're not TD Jazz. We're not a big book literary prize. We're just this bunch of bonehead musicians in the market trying to make it happen. And we do make it happen.
And you've been making it happen for 9 years now. You just mentioned volunteers. Last year, I believe you had your first, Volunteer Appreciation Awards or something?
We
Well
did.
done.
We even had an award, like an actual plaque that you got made out of wood, but an actual. Yeah, that was very exciting. We'll do that every year. Our volunteers are great, and they range in age from sort of 15 to 80. I mean, the woman that won it last year, I know she's definitely in her 70s, and she was the most energetic volunteer we had.
And for yourself, what's been the most rewarding part about doing this particular jazz festival?
I just love getting to that Sunday night when everything's wrapping up and just wandering through the festival, seeing happy, happy people dancing in the streets, loving the music. These are the things that give me great joy. The other piece is when the acoustic pianos from Yamaha roll into Kensington Market on the Friday morning. And I always get a little bit teary at that moment because, these are very expensive instruments, and Yamaha has been with us since the very beginning and understand the importance of acoustic instruments. And their support's been invaluable. But that Friday morning when those very expensive instruments roll into the market, yeah, it's really gratifying.
So here's my last question for you. And it's simply this. What do you hope audiences come away from after they've been part of, essentially, the 9th annual Kensington Market Jazz Festival? What do you hope your audiences come away with?
Well, Mark Tara, I have to say this about that. You ask the average person if they like jazz, and they'll say no. Right? Meanwhile, they're listening to it all the time because it's background music to your life. You go into a store, it's everywhere. Jazz is very broad, and that's what's so great about the genre. It's so broad. My view of jazz is people who actually know how to play their instruments, not a laptop. Though laptops come in handy, but you know what I mean? Like actual players. And that gives me great joy to see that happening and for people's minds to be changed. Oh, maybe I do like jazz. Oh, is this jazz? Oh, I kind of like this. That's what I'm hoping people take away. Take a chance, come and hear stuff, and be surprised at how much you love it.
And I know that Billy Newton-Davis and Audie Braun, both two artists that will be part of this year's festival. They're also two artists that I play quite often on my show. So well done,
Mark,
done to them.
Wait till you hear Billy Newton-Davis's new record that I produced for him with the help of some extremely competent musicians, brilliant musicians.
Is this something new?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is very exciting. Part of what I love to do at Kensington Jazz is when we can, we grab an artist that really should have a new record. Like they really, come on now. You need to make a record. And Billy was that artist this year.
Okay.
My co-founder, Geneviève Marentet, she took a step back this year so she could make a record. And it's gorgeous. So, we are just putting great music into the world. But Billy, get ready for Billy's record. Mark, you're going to love it.
Oh, I look forward to it. I love his version of Grandma's Hands on his last record.
Oh, my God. He'll be doing that at the festival for sure. He's playing Sunday night at 7:00. And he will be debuting a lot of that new music. In fact, all of it.
Well done. Well done.
It's really exciting.
Molly Johnson.
Well deserved.
Molly Johnson, well
yes,
done.
Tara.
Well done, well organized. You multi-award winning artist, you recipient of the Order of Canada. Well done to you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being on the
Mark,
show.
Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful to get this kind of support.